You ever notice that some newspapers treat Harry like he's starring in a reality show that never ends? Seriously, the man can't sneeze, buy a coffee, or show up for a friend without somebody acting like they've uncovered a government conspiracy. So, Harry turns up to support José Andrés at a cookbook launch. That's it. That's the story. A friend supporting a friend. Pretty normal human behavior, right? Wrong. Apparently, somewhere in a newsroom, somebody looked at that perfectly ordinary event and said, no, 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 we need more drama. We need more spice than the chef's cookbook. And suddenly the headlines become, Harry attends event days before Lilibet's birthday. What? That's like reporting man buys groceries 3 days before his dentist appointment. The two things have absolutely nothing to do with each other. José Andrés spent years working on his book. Years. The man has built an incredible career. He's fed people after disasters. He's helped communities all over the world. The cookbook launch was supposed to be about his achievement, but somehow the spotlight gets dragged back to Harry and Meghan again. And here's the funny part. The same people who keep saying Harry and Meghan are irrelevant seem physically incapable of leaving them alone for 5 minutes. Think about that. If somebody was truly irrelevant, you wouldn't write 50 articles a week about them. You wouldn't analyze every photograph. You wouldn't turn every family birthday into breaking news. You wouldn't stare at their social media accounts like you're studying game film before the Super Bowl. At this point, it's giving obsessed ex-boyfriend energy. The whole thing feels less like journalism and more like somebody trying desperately to keep a television series alive after the writers ran out of plot. Because what was Harry actually doing? Supporting a friend. That's it. No scandal, no controversy, no secret message hidden in the cookbook, no royal earthquake, just a guy showing up for someone he respects. Regular people understand this immediately because regular people have friends. We've all attended birthday parties, graduations, business launches, weddings, baby showers, and retirement dinners. Nobody shows up and says, interesting, you're here celebrating your friend despite your daughter's birthday being next week. People would think you've completely lost the plot. But that's what makes this whole thing so ridiculous. The story wasn't exciting enough on its own, so somebody bolted random facts together and hoped readers would mistake coincidence for news. It's the media version of throwing leftovers into a blender and calling it a gourmet meal. And honestly, Harry and Meghan seem to drive certain commentators crazy simply by existing. They're living their lives, raising their kids, supporting their friends, working on their projects. Meanwhile, some outlets are sitting there with magnifying glasses, trying to turn every Tuesday afternoon into a royal emergency. At some point, you've got to laugh, because when a cookbook launch somehow becomes a story about a birthday that hasn't even happened yet, you're not watching serious reporting anymore. You're watching people desperately stretch a 5-second story into 500 headlines. And the funniest part, they keep proving Harry and Meghan's relevance while trying to argue the exact opposite. That's a level of self-anon you almost have to respect. You know what cracks me up about these Harry stories? The man literally went to support a friend, and somehow that became a national investigation. I'm not kidding. Prince Harry shows up for José Andrés. That's the whole event. A friend invites you somewhere, you go, you clap, maybe you grab a drink, maybe you say congratulations. Normal people call that being a decent friend, but apparently normal rules don't apply when Harry is involved. José Andrés wasn't launching a scandal, he was launching a cookbook. The guy has spent years building his career. He's fed people after disasters, he's helped communities all over the world. This was a big moment for him, yet somehow the headlines managed to treat José's actual achievement like background wallpaper. Instead, they went searching for something else, anything else. And what did they come up with? Lilibet's birthday. A birthday that wasn't even the reason Harry was there. Imagine this happening in your own life. You attend your buddy's restaurant opening. The next day, somebody writes, local man attends event 4 days before taking his car for service. You'd stare at them like they escaped from a laboratory. The connection makes no sense. But that's where we are. Some outlets have become so addicted to Harry and Meghan content that they can't just report what happened, they need extra seasoning, extra sauce, extra nonsense. Everything has to mean something. Everything has to be a clue. Everything has to be part of some imaginary royal treasure hunt. Meanwhile, Harry is probably thinking, I came here to support my friend. That's it. No hidden messages, no secret operation, no royal code words buried inside a cookbook. Just friendship. And here's the part regular people notice immediately. The same folks who keep yelling that Harry and Meghan don't matter anymore seem to spend an incredible amount of time talking about them. Think about that for a second. If somebody doesn't matter, you move on. You don't track their calendar. You don't inspect their family photos. You don't turn every coffee run, dinner appearance, or public outing into breaking news. At some point, it's not reporting anymore. It's fan behavior, just the angry version. And honestly, this is why so many ordinary people end up sympathizing with Harry and Meghan, not because they're perfect, but because everyone recognizes what it feels like when people start inventing stories around things that are completely normal. Most of us have dealt with that one neighbor, coworker, or relative who turns everything into gossip. You say hello, they create a rumor. You attend a party, they invent a conspiracy. You breathe, they write a 5-part documentary. That's exactly what this feels like. Harry attended a friend's celebration. End of story. What gets lost in all the noise is that José Andrés actually did something worth celebrating. This wasn't just another cookbook. This was years of work, years of memories, years of building a career that most people could only dream of. The man didn't become respected just because he can cook. He became respected because when disasters hit, he's often one of the first people showing up to help. That's real-world stuff. That's boots-on-the-ground stuff. So of course, Harry wanted to support him. And honestly, that's what normal friends do. They show up, they clap, they celebrate your win. What makes me laugh is how some people seemed more interested in finding a royal angle than talking about José's achievement. Imagine working on a project for years and somebody says, cool book, but let's talk about something completely unrelated. Come on. The truth is, Harry and Meghan have known José for years. They've supported many of the same causes and clearly respect the work he does. Seeing Harry at that event wasn't shocking. It was friendship, plain and simple. Sometimes a friend supporting a friend is exactly what it looks like. Not every sandwich has a secret ingredient. Not every cookbook launch is a royal mystery. Sometimes people just show up for the people they care about. At this point, some parts of the British media don't seem to cover Harry and Meghan. They seem to be running a 24-hour wildlife documentary about them. Seriously. If Meghan posts on Instagram, it's breaking news. If Meghan doesn't post on Instagram, it's somehow also breaking news. Imagine having that kind of attention in your own life. You skip posting for a week and suddenly your neighbors are standing outside with clipboards. Interesting. Audrey hasn't uploaded a photo since Tuesday. What could it mean? Nothing, Karen. It means she's busy. That's what makes this whole thing so funny. Some outlets don't even wait for things to happen anymore. They're covering future events like they're reporting tomorrow's weather. Lilibet's birthday is coming up? Headline. A family photo might be posted? Headline. A family photo wasn't posted? Believe it or not, headline. The countdown never ends. It's like they're standing beside a giant Sussex calendar with red circles around every date, waiting for the next opportunity to hit publish. And here's what regular people see immediately. The same commentators who swear Harry and Meghan are irrelevant can't seem to go 5 minutes without talking about them. 5 minutes. That's not indifference, that's an addiction. Most people are busy paying bills, getting kids to school, surviving traffic, and figuring out what to cook for dinner. Meanwhile, some journalists are treating Meghan's Instagram activity like it's a national security briefing. Come on now. Harry attends an event. Meghan shares a photo. The kids have a birthday. Normal family stuff. Yet somehow it gets stretched into a week-long media marathon. Honestly, if Harry and Meghan ever spent an entire month doing absolutely nothing, some outlets would probably publish daily updates about their decision to do nothing. Day 12, still doing nothing. Experts react. At a certain point, you have to laugh. because every article, every countdown, every prediction, and every bit of speculation ends up proving one thing. Harry and Meghan are still living rent-free in a lot of people's heads. And that's the part nobody wants to admit out loud. Well, that's all for today. A friend supported a friend, a chef celebrated a huge achievement, and the headline writers got another workout session in. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Miles. Hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join the conversation below. Until next time, keep smiling, keep questioning the nonsense, and remember, not every cookbook contains a royal plot twist. See you soon.